Welcome in to the Goddess Complex. It's another one. I don't even know what episode we're on. I've just been cranking these bad boys out. I know today's Thursday, March 10th. I know that. Today is Thursday, March 10th. And yeah, here we go. We're talking. This episode may be a bit shorter than the rest of them, as last week's was a bit longer than the rest of them. So, yeah. Applications for Sacred and Sought After are now open, darling. If you don't know what Sacred and Sought After is, it is my one-on-one business mentorship specifically for lightworkers, spiritual entrepreneurs. You and I go on a journey, darling. We take you from part-time to full-time work in this beautiful corner of the universe that we so lovingly call spirituality and wellness and alternative development, new age, whatever they're calling it, whatever it is we do. We work in the woo, right? We work in the woo. Okay. Okie dokie. So what are we talking about today? I got a good one for you. Today, we are talking about the three must-haves, the three big must-haves that you must have in order for you to go full-time. I know if you're drawn to this podcast, if you're listening to it, you love spirituality, you're developing yourself spiritually, or you work in spirituality somehow. And so many light workers sell themselves short. They feel like this is a side hustle. It's a side hobby. I have to do something else to pay the bills, to make money. I have to spread myself thin and give my energy to other things that don't necessarily please me or make me feel good. And I have to do that because I live on Earth and I live wherever it is you live, whatever country you live in. One thing I feel like we can all agree with is, we need to make money. Don't forget, my loves, money is neutral. I'm going to do a whole nother podcast on the energetics behind money and my reasons why I feel like the spiritual community pretends to hate it. You should not hate money, my love. And there's nothing wrong with getting paid for your services. Please know that. Please. No matter what Bob on Instagram says, please know that. So, the three things you need to go full-time. What three things could you possibly need to go full-time? Number one, you need a signature offer. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you need your juice, baby. What are you bringing to the table? Your signature offer is the thing that you're known for. It is the thing that when somebody goes to your IG page or your blog or your Facebook, whatever it is, that is what you are known for. What am I known for? Think about it. I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, shadow work and star seeds. Ding, 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 ding. When I first started my business, the star seed aspect of my soul in my business had always been there, but I was feeling quite shy about going that deep, right? I was like, they're not ready. They're not ready, right? So I don't want to say avoided. I'll say I focused on the shadow work aspect of my soul. For me, shadow work has and had been integral in this whole shebang, why I'm even here. And Spirit led me to do my own shadow work, and I had all these activations happening, another story, another time. But my point being was shadow work is what I'm known for, and that's what I do best. I help people explore and uncover their shadows, more often than not, their shadows are quite golden and beautiful. They just think they're dark and scary. Again, another story, another time. But your signature offer is what it is you do, but that unique way that you do it. And if you're a returning listener, you know I preach to the moon and back that only you deliver the work that you deliver in the way that you deliver it. So don't say, well, Ash, I'm an astrologer, but there's so many astrologers. Like, I just do astrology. There's like nothing different about how I do it. Couldn't be farther from the truth. Truly, truly. And it couldn't be farther from the truth because your interpretations of, I don't know, a Mars conjunct Venus is going to be different from my interpretation of a Mars conjunct Venus. Now, if you're a good astrologer, obviously they're all going to have the same underlying tone because astrology is quite straightforward. But the way that you deliver it, the way you make your client feel about it, the transformation that you evoke is yours and always has been. So we must understand that when it's time to go full time, when it's time to truly take your role, your mission as a light worker seriously, right? When it's time to do that, you truly need to be creative. And when I say be creative, I mean be creative in your signature offer. How do you do what you do? What transformation do you deliver? How do you read tarot differently from somebody else that reads tarot? Do you put some zhuzh in it? Do you like specifically working with a specific planet or deity? And that is calling me to say, what do you do in your own practice? Do you work with a specific deity? Do you work with Kali Ma? Do you work with Hecate? What sort of energy do you bring to the table that's different than somebody else? Are you a moon goddess or moon god, right? Do you weave the teachings of the lunar teachings of the moon within the work that you do and the transformation that you provide? And I'm leaning more so in towards astrology and things like that because it's popular. Tarot and astrology is quite popular. And in order to go full time, being able to distinguish yourself is a necessary. It's a necessary. Do you lean into starseed work? Are you a channel? If you're listening to this now and you're a channel, who do you work with predominantly? Do you channel planets? Do you channel gods or goddesses? Do you channel the Pleiadians, the Lyrans? Are you unsure? If you do medium work, what sort of medium work makes you different, not better or worse, but different from somebody else coming in doing the same sort of medium work? Do you do a sort of ritual before you go into trance? Do you work with sound healing and clearing? What is it that you do that's different from anybody else? I would urge you, if you're listening to this and you're ready to make the transition into full-time work, don't be shy. We as humans have this thing about being conceited or not wanting to toot our own horn or wanting to take a back seat to our glory. And I tell you this now, toot your own fucking horn. If you are not showing up confidently, how can you expect someone to invest in you, my love? Shout it from the rooftops what you do and how you do it differently from somebody else. Say it everywhere. Put it in your content. Put it in your stories. Tell your mom. Tell everybody. This is the transformation I provide, and this is how I provide it. And this is the sort of experience that you're going to get with me. All of these things I'm talking about, they go into your signature offering. Now, creating your signature offer. I remember I was listening to Oprah. Oprah. I was listening to Oprah one day and she was saying something along the lines, and I loved it. It stuck with me. She's saying something along the lines about when you find your craft, when you find your thing, when you find your it thing, you study it and you learn it, and you learn it inside out, and you become a master at it so that no one else can tell you otherwise. And I loved that. I loved that. Your signature offering is the thing that you are best at. Now, you all know I'm eclectic as all hell. I have my hands in all the cookie jars. But when it comes to shadow work, I'm one of the best in the game. One of the best in the game. And helping you heal your soul wounds, and helping you break down your scarcity programs, and helping you see the golden that is hidden within your shadow. It just is what it is. Allow yourself, as you're cultivating your signature offer, to learn for sure. Because as you're on your spiritual path, you may find, I love this, but now I'm learning about that, and I truly feel called to work on that. That's okay. Do that. Be that. I'm all for that. But whatever it is, you learn it. You breathe it. You understand the different ideas behind it. You read books about it, right? You look at all the literature on it, and you continue to allow yourself to grow and expand in that specific knowledge. If you're an astrologer, do you specifically work with career astrology? Understand all the different ways one can understand their career or their soul path through career astrology. If you're a tarot reader and you work with the shadow, one of the, I'm giving you guys so much tea right now. One of the really great exercises I did when I was first starting out with shadow work, and combining and infusing the tarot within my work, was I was pulling out the shadowy cards, or the cards that I perceived to be shadowy. And I would pull them out, all of them from major and minor, and just like hold them and study them and feel them and sleep with some of them. And I would write down the certain emotions that I would get around them. Like 5 of Pentacles, that card followed me for like 3 months. I kid you not, my loves. I kid you not. I'm like, what do you want, 5 of Pentacles? What do you want? Oh my goodness. So my point being, when you claim, dare I say, mastery at something, and I do dare say it, because your signature offer, that should be something that you feel comfortable claiming mastery at. Just because you claim mastery does not necessarily mean you're done learning, okay? But you can be done learning and not be a master. Do you get what I'm saying? You want to be able to claim a level of mastery at whatever your signature offer is. Why do I say this? I say this because your signature offer is going to be your highest ticket offer. However you're pricing, whatever it is, it's going to be your highest ticket offer. And in order for you to get over your money story, your money stories, and charge that highest ticket, what do you think you need? Confidence. You need to know without a doubt that you deliver a transformation that no one else will. Not that they can't, but that they won't, because you are delivering that transformation. You are delivering that unique experience. So nobody else is going to get that same juice. Does that make sense? They're not going to get that same energy working with somebody else. If they work with, I don't know, Kelly Kelly is probably great. She's amazing. And she delivers an amazing fucking transformation. And it's awesome. Working with Kelly and working with me, the client's going to get two different transformations, equally as amazing, but equally as different. Now, this, I'm leaning more into talking about soulmate clients, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I really wanted to focus on these three things today. But just to understand, when I say this isn't about putting down any other spiritual worker or entrepreneur. That's not what this is about. This is really about you understanding that you deliver a transformation that somebody else does not. And in order for you to get over all of these energetic blocks that will come up as you're creating your signature offer, it is going to help if you feel like you are mastering said signature offer. There it is. There it is. You can go full time with one signature offer and not offer anything else if you don't want to. You could offer your signature offer and then 4 or 5 other offers that are lower tier, lower ticket, if you choose to. But a signature offer needs to be a part of the plan in order for you to make a transition into full-time. What is your specific magic? Okay. Second thing, an email list. Yes, darling. We're digging into email lists. I know a lot of you listening probably don't have them. Those of you that do, big pat on the back, right? An email list, it's gold. It's gold, my loves, it's gold. And I know it's like, how do I start an email list? How do we do that? What happens here? How do I get the emails on? What's going on? We go over all of that in Sacred and Sought After. So I will spare you the gritty, boring details, but we are going to talk about it. You know, you don't own your Instagram. And I think you all know that, but I think we all kind of gloss over that. We don't own our Instagram. We don't own our Facebook. We don't own our TikTok. We don't own these things, you know? And we create these huge followings, and then it's like, okay, now what? You are in control of your email list. You can go full time with 200 heads on your email list. I'm sure there is somebody full time with 100 heads on their email list. Okay. Your email list is, like I said, you own it, and you are able to truly cultivate and create a relationship with the people that subscribe to your email list. You're truly able to dig into what you really want to dig into. In my experience, I feel like an email list is often great practice in censorship. Now, hear me out. When I say in censorship, I mean, especially when we start this work, when we begin to take on clients, when we hear the call and we start acting on the call, we tend to want to censor ourselves on Instagram. We tend to not want to give people all the juice, right? We tend to not want to go there and say our opinions on certain things or how we feel or talk about our trauma, like all of that. In my experience, the email list is almost this like place for us to really spread our wings and just say what we want, because these people have signed up to hear from us. They want to hear from us. They desire to hear from us. So there's almost this judgment-free zone that is indirectly created through creating your email list. Okay. So, email list is super important. How do you create one? How does it work? All of that. Well, without getting too deep on this, you can use all different platforms to host your email list, right? And you don't need to necessarily have a website or anything at all like that. So don't feel like, well, I don't have a website and I don't have this and I don't have that. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. So you can use ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, MailerLite, HubSpot, any of those. And there's tons more. I use Flowdesk. Flowdesk has been great. And these are email hosting spots, right? So you go on there and you're like, what's going on? This is where you'll write your email, and this is where your potential clients would be funneled into this space. Okay. And then you'd write your weekly newsletter, your weekly email. It's a great way for you to practice writing. A lot of spiritual entrepreneurship specifically is writing. Please understand that. There's a lot of writing, and I enjoy writing. I'm a poet. For those of you who don't know that, I've been writing poetry since I was in elementary school, spoken word poetry, the whole nine. I should probably share some more of that with you guys. Okay. But anyways, yeah, so it's a lot of writing. And if, writing isn't your strong suit, or you're one of those, it's hard for you to get inspired, or you don't know what to write about, especially if you're feeling that on IG, take it to your email list and practice there. Set aside some time, light your favorite incense. I love using lemongrass. And call on spirit. Call on spirit and just say, what should I write about? What do the people need to know about? What messages should I be giving? And allow that energy to flow through, right? And see what comes up. And if that's not working, pick a topic. Just pick a topic. It's your email list. That's the beauty about it. So you can write whatever it is you want to write about, especially when you're just beginning and you don't truly have to choose. You never have to choose per se, but you know what I mean. You're still kind of working your way around what it is you love and what it is you like and what's next. You can kind of play with it, right? The one thing I love about working in this field is I get to learn. Sag sun over here. I pick up on the things and the ideas and topics that interest me, and I get to learn about them to bring them to you. If that's the sort of thing that tickles your fancy, or whatever that saying is. Is it tickles your fancy? It doesn't sound like that's what it is, but that's what we'll go with. If that's your sort of vibe where you're really into learning different information and all of that, pick a topic and say, I'm going to talk about this on my email, and just write it out. Let's say you're not there yet. You're not ready to start an email list yet. You don't know what that is. Start a blog. And then when you're ready for the email list, put it over on the blog, or do it in a Google Doc. Just create Google Doc, future email list. That is an amazing manifestation practice too, right? Just opening up a Google Drive doc and titling it for future email list, and then just write. And then just write. Topic, write. Next page topic, write. Whenever you feel so called, just write. So when it's time to build your email list and to build your brand reach and all of that, you already have stuff on deck. How powerful is that? And then also, look at you calling that shit in like a boss. At the same time, everybody wins. I can't tell you all how important an email list is, though. So if you're not there yet, you may want to consider it. It doesn't mean that you have to learn how to work all these newfangled fancy things immediately. But it does mean, maybe at night when you're scrolling through IG or TikTok, maybe you look up MailChimp and you're like, okay, let's figure out what this is. Maybe you watch some YouTube videos. Maybe you write down some ideas, right? Now, let's say you have an email list, but it's inactive or it doesn't work or you don't know how it works or it was too time consuming, whatever your reason/excuses are. Yes, I said it. Get on that shit, boo. Our job as light workers, especially as light workers working in this field, is to create trust. It is to help other light workers see us. That's the truth. And other light workers will only see us if we create that trust. And when I say that, I mean, if you promised weekly emails and you're doing monthly, what's going on? You promise bi-weekly emails and you're doing every 3 months or only when you have something to sell. Really, boo? They're signing on for your experience just as much as you want to give them that experience. And of course, we can sell via email. That's why email is so amazing, because we can sell. But we also want to make sure we're giving value as well. We also want to make sure we're being authentic as well. Like, dude, I had a really bad day today. Let me tell you why. I didn't meditate for a whole week. Let me tell you what's going on. Your email is an extension of your IG. I feel like almost even more, because it's like your diary. The IG, of course, can serve as your diary, right? Like, of course it can. But there is this level of censorship on IG. There just is. There is. And I feel like that level of censorship is there because it's public and we can't control necessarily who's seeing it. But in your email list, again, these people, they have to sign up. They want to know what's going on with you. So don't ever feel fearful or worried of holding space or taking space when it comes to your email list, period. And also, just going back to the trust thing, the best thing to do is to do at least weekly emails. It is. Is that hard to keep up with? For some, sure. But that is the best thing to do. Now, let's say you only want to do every full moon and every new moon. Do that, boo. Everything I say in this episode and in this podcast in general, these are just recommendations, and these are just things that have worked for me and for my clients. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you have to do or that you must do in order to be successful. So keep that in mind. But a weekly email is great. Bi-weekly is great too. Monthly, it may get a little lost. And that just is what it is. It may get lost in the spam. It may get lost in the junk. After a month, when somebody signs up, you're like, who is this person? Why are they? Who? So keep those energetics in mind as you are creating. And again, if it's something that you don't like to do, outsource it, boo. I have no problem outsourcing things. And when I say outsourcing, I mean hiring help. Getting a virtual assistant, hiring help so that you can do what you feel best at doing. Because again, this is your business. This is your baby. And wherever in your business, whether you have a YouTube, whether you have a podcast, whether you love going live on IG, whether you have a huge TikTok following, whatever it is, wherever you feel like I'm in my pocket, like everything feels so good. Like I am creating from literally my whole sacral chakra. You want to be in that energy. So if writing emails isn't it for you, but you know and understand the value and importance of email marketing, hire out. Oh, but Ash, I can't afford to hire out. Have you accounted for your Grubhub bill this month, boo? Let's be real. Let's be real. And I say that because that's what I did. I've spent the last year and a half tracking my funds and my money like a madwoman. And just to give you some background, a bitch didn't do that before. Like, not even a little bit did she do that. For real. Like, money in, money out, money in, money out, money in, money out. That was my money story. That was my money story. And I realized as Starseed Shadows is getting bigger and bigger, and as I realized it was becoming time for me to move into a full-time space, and I realized the importance of hiring help, I had to understand my funds more. Those Grubhub bills, those Uber Eat bills, those reefer bills, all these guilty pleasures that we love, I would urge you to spend the rest of March or to even start in April and just live normally. Like, don't make any changes because you're doing this. Just live normally. But track what you're spending at the store, what you're spending online. Track all the money that you're randomly spending on stuff, even if it's $3. I'll bet you at the end of the month, you have more than enough money to hire a VA, a virtual assistant. I'll bet you do. Just a little bit of food for thought, just a little different way of looking at things. Okay. Okay. The third thing you need to go full-time, belief. Belief. You need to believe that you can. And I say this from such a full heart to you. You must believe it. I can't believe it for you. Your coach can't believe it for you. Your partner cannot believe it for you. You must believe that you are meant to do this work full time. And I continue to reiterate full time because, again, there's so many light workers who are like, oh, I read tarot on the side, but then I also do this job I hate. It's like, it's our story. Tell me this isn't your story or was your story, or you know someone whose story it is. This is the plague of the light worker. We do the thing that we love the most for pennies, and we work a job we can't stand because we feel like we need that job to pay the bills. And this storyline that we have truly given ourselves is so manipulated and incorrect. It truly is. You don't need to work that job. You never did. Working as a light worker full time and paying your bills full time, it's going to take grit. It's going to take hard work. And it's going to take you showing up for yourself, and not just like hard work at the computer or creating content, but also hard internal work. You go through a transformation as you transition from working in the world, if you will. You guys can't see me, but I did a little quote thing. And transitioning into working in spirituality. There is a huge transformation, and many parts of your codes get activated. Your authenticity codes get activated. Your confidence codes get activated. Your spiritual codes get activated. Your third eye gets activated. All these different activations happen in this portal, right? This magical portal as you switch into full time. And you must believe that this is your true calling and this is your true work. That belief is what drives you to prosperity. That's it. It's not the huge following. It's not being booked and busy. It's not the 5-figure coach. It's none of that. It's the belief and knowing that the magic you have to offer is fucking potent. And knowing that you are here to help others awaken in however you choose to do it. You cannot transition into full-time work until you believe that you can. That's it. You must believe that you can. And I put emphasis on that because it's easy to say, well, of course, Ash, I believe that I can, duh. No, but really though. Do you believe that you can, or do you say that you believe that you can? There's a huge difference there. What are your true beliefs around doing this sort of work full time? What are your true beliefs around feeling like you can do it? And how do those beliefs change for the better or for worse when you're scrolling on Instagram and looking at other people do it? How do your beliefs change for better or for worse when you talk to your parents about doing it or your partner about doing it? How do your beliefs change for better or for worse when you get that backed up RG&E bill that's electric and gas? That's my point. Our beliefs are moldable. And the one belief that should not be moldable is the belief that you can go full time in doing this work if you feel like that's your calling. It needs to be unwavering. Okay, well, Ash, how do I get it unwavering? You believe. And I wish I could tell you that there's some magic key. No, this is an inner knowing. This is a knowing. This is something you tell yourself every day. This is you showing up for yourself before you show up for anybody else. This is you doing your mantras. This is you doing your affirmations. This is you being self-aware. This is you doing the inside work. This is you journaling. This is you taking your spiritual baths. This is you working with crystals. This is you just blessing yourself with spiritual knowledge. This is you creating the offers. This is you practicing on your friends, on your family members, on your partners. This is you learning through podcasts, through YouTube. This is how you create and instill the belief within yourself. I can't do that for you. I can work with you. I can get you there. I can get you to full time, but I only take on people that believe that they can go full time. I only take on people who know that they offer a fucking transformation and they are ready to share their magic with the world. That's that vibe that I'm on. And I know that there are so many of you that are on that same vibe. I know it. I see your fucking content. I see what you all are creating. I see your offers. I see your knowledge. It's beautiful. Literally, the world that we are creating, I could cry right now. I could cry. I am just so overwhelmed by the beautiful conversations I get to have on a daily basis and by the lovely souls that I've been so blessed to meet on my own journey through this, on this ride that I've been on. But I can tell you that until you're blue in the face. If you don't believe it, does it matter? Doesn't matter. So yeah, babes, I thought this was going to be a little shorter. You get me talking, right? These are the three things, in my opinion, that you need to go full time. Do you need more than that? Sure. Maybe not. Who knows? These are your three pillars. These are foundational. Okay. So your signature offer, your email list, and an unwavering belief. You have these three components. You're ready to go full time. And just to reiterate, you could go full time without the email list, but the email list makes it better. It's like the cherry on top. That's what I'll say. Because like I said, honey, you don't want to be that hoe who you built up this following and then your IG's gone for something silly, like you accidentally showed a nipple or some shit. And then IG's like, okay, bye. I've seen this happen. I'm sure you have too. So you always want to be thinking ahead of the tech as best as we can. As best as we can. You want to be thinking ahead of the tech. And that's why I put emphasis on creating some sort of email list, something that you own. Okay? Okay, my loves. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to tag me, share, Give me that 5-star review. Let me know what you think. Apply for Sacred and Sought After if you feel so ready. I do offer soul sessions. They're business activation sessions. It's just a one-off. You and me sit down for 90 minutes and we dissect your business, your pain points, your goals, and what you need. I'll post a link down below for you to book one of those if you're ready. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. So much love. Hello, friends. I hope you loved today's episode. Make sure you share it with a friend, share it with somebody that you love, and tag me on the gram at AshleyMichelle90day and let me know your thoughts. Leaving that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify is literally what helps this work get to the right people. As you may or may not know, we are in the middle of a spiritual revolution, and us being able to get our hands on resources like this podcast and others is what is literally going to make the world go round. So do me this favor and please leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and share the episode with somebody you love. It really, truly does mean the world to me. I love you so very much, and I will see you in the next one.